Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Coding My Way In. And before we get to coding, I just wanted to let you know in advance that there's a 50-50% chance that I might post a video next week. I'm still not sure. I have a family issue that I have to handle and it requires me to leave the country for 10 days. So I'm going to be overseas for about 10 days. It's a long flight, so I'm bringing my laptop. I'm still going to work on the hopefully I will still work on the design of the application because I don't like how the sign-in, the registration form looks, and I still have to create the chat component where it's going to be the chat, the items like options, and the users that are connected and things of that nature. So I'm going to be working on that on the plane, working on the design if I get bored in the plane ride because it's a long one. But nevertheless, let's get to business. So last week, as you can see, the application still pretty much looks the same. The only difference is that last week I could only register a new user and log in through a Postman request. Not anymore. Now let's say I want to sign in. I already have it set up that if the user doesn't exist, the application will tell me. So let's create a user, and as you can see, let's do Thomas Wayne, Batman 52, flashpoint bat, this fake number, and we're gonna do password 1234. So we're gonna register. Batman at gmail.com, and then we're gonna register. Boom, registration was a success. And here's the great thing. Now we go to the MongoDB to registrations. You see, you don't see it, but if you refresh, now you see it. Thomas Wayne, Batman 52, flashpoint, the phone number when it was created, and you see the password is password 1234, but we hashed it, so it's protected now, and now the user can log in. So the good thing is now from registrations, it also transfers to users. So this is what we are using. So you see here as well, we got the same information, and now from registration, it goes straight to users, and that's how we can log in. And let's say we want to log in. So Batman 52, the password is password 1234. I'm not typing all that. Sign in. Welcome back. And now it sends you to this beautiful empty component. So I have to work out on the UI. It's gonna be basically something like this. I have the Scally draw. So it's gonna look something like this. So this is how it's gonna look. So this one is gonna be like the settings and the options to like change the color. Here's gonna be the main user, which is gonna be me, you, if you're using it. These are gonna be the current conversations. So when I click, this will pop up, and here will be the name of the person that I'm speaking with. You guys already know how a messenger application works. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel or anything new. I just wanna get the experience. So this is basically how it's going to look. Now, another thing that I did, other than that, is work on the authentication in order to make the users work. So the way that I have it is, I'm making a post request. This is how the registration process takes place. This is the new user. As you can see, these are all the queries that you need to fill, and then if everything works, it sends you straight to the sign-in page. And when you go to the sign-in page, as you can see, it's here. And once you sign in, as you can see here, the username and the password, and it gets passed into the component, which is this one. This is the component that has these two inputs. So once that happens, it goes straight. But here's the thing, the way that this works, right? In order for the new user, for this to work, I need to authenticate to make sure that the user is even on the database. So that's when I learned how to do a route. So basically it's a post request, and this basically takes handle of the user model in the database. So what it does is it makes sure that the username, you look for the user, and remember the user is the model. As you can see here, this is the model where we put the information and the data. And what happens is it gets the username by 1. You also have the option to make multiple requests for one user or multiple, but let's just focus on one. And then once we find the user in the database, which is the user's document from the database that we have here, then the next step is we got to validate and make sure that the password is valid and that it exists. And here's, for the first time, I worked with this method called compare. So basically, as you can see, we got password, but we working with password hash, which is this. This is a password hash. This is the only thing we passing through the database. So the bcrypt import helps me compare password with the encrypted one and make sure that it's the same thing, and that's how we are able to sign in. But if I put like a wrong password, even though that's the user, that's some random, it won't let me. So that's the great thing. But if we put the right one, boop, welcome back. So that's pretty much it, where I'm at. And then here's the funny thing. So just because we find the user and we validate the password, the issue is, since it's a chat, right? Let me open again. Since it's this, we want the user to show up here, but at the end of the day, when you're doing messaging, you want to connect through the ID. So as you can see, each user, and MongoDB does it automatically. It creates an ID for each user. So yeah, we want to validate the login with the username and the password, but at the end of the day, what we really care about is to get the ID. That way we can connect the ID of that user, meaning you, me, whoever is using it, and connect it to the messages being sent. So that's something that I learned for the first time. So this right now only gives you the user, literally the string. However, I learned how to create a route with next auth, and now what we're doing now, not only we get the user, yes, we get the user, but through this route, which is the auth, with something called credentials provider, we create a credentials and we request what we want, which is the username and password. And then not only that, we do a callback, and this what does is it finds the user by one, which is the same thing we're doing here, which is what we're doing here. But the only difference is once we have it, then we work with the session user, which is, you see the ID and you see underscore ID, as you can see, is the same thing as here. So that's the ID, underscore ID. So here it can't be a dot, it has to be underscore. So what it does is it gets the user here, and then it asks for the ID of the user, which is equal to the underscore ID, which is this ID, and then it turns it into a string. So it turns this ID, it turns it into this, and that is what we're going to use to connect it to the chat component and for the messages. So that's what we got so far. It's been a very interesting learning experience, and it's funny because if you really think about it, a chat application is just a registration, a user, and then the chat. That's about it. But it's everything that goes under the hood that makes everything work. So I'm learning a lot, and I haven't even gotten to WebSockets yet. So I still have a lot to learn, and hopefully I can do some work while I'm overseas. But hopefully I want to be able to finish this by the end of October and be very happy with the final product, so I can work on the third project. Because like I told you guys, my goal is to have 3 projects for the end of the year, and I already have the third project, but let's finish this one first, and then I'll show you guys the one that I really want to work on. So yeah, this is what we got so far. And I also learned how to do favicons. It's nothing crazy. You just go to the layout. Where are you? You go to the app, the layout, and then you just put it on the metadata. I found it actually a little bit more difficult than when you do it on React, because you can just do it on the index. But here, it's not difficult. You just put icons and then the image that you're trying to put. And for some reason I get an error here, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. What else? This is something funny that I wanted to show you guys. So you see that the sign-in page works, right? And there's no error. This is something that is happening right now. So if I kill the port and then npm run dev, look what happens when we open this. Starting ready. Remember that the sign-in page was working, right? There was nothing going on. Look at this now that I open it. I'm getting an error. So I'm getting an error because it's uploading first on the register component, and then it sends it to my sign in component. So in order for me not to get this error, I literally have to go back to the register and then come back in. And see, I don't get the error. So that's something that I need to figure out to really, so I don't get that error anymore. But I saw that and I was laughing. And I got stuck for a little bit, and then I saw what I needed to do. But this is something I want to do for next week. Figure out why I'm getting that error. I mean, I know why. It's the register component and everything that goes under the hood is uploading first, and the signing page is uploading afterwards. The reason why I have to do like the back and forth registration, and once it uploads on the server, then everything works normal. But other than that, guys, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Peace.